The Egyptians believed that the gods and goddesses would protect them in the afterlife. Some gods and goddesses looked human, some looked animal-like, and some looked both. These were called Sphinx. There were hundreds of national, local, and personal gods and goddesses. The major god was Amun, the sun god. He created himself and everything. There were believed to be over 700 major gods and goddesses. Pharaohs were believed to be living gods and goddesses. They were treated and worshipped like gods and goddesses also. They were believed to be holder of all the power. When pharaohs were mummified, they were brought in places, special place in the pyramid or the tomb in the ground. The kings were buried in the Valley of the Kings, and the queens were buried in the Valley of the Queens. The Egyptian people prayed for healthy children and plentiful harvests. They believed they needed to please their gods and goddesses. The Canopic jars housed the eternal organs of mummies. They had heads of these four gods: Dumuth, Cornulus, Happy, and Amnesty. Dumuth protected the stomach and had a head of a jackal. Cornulus protected the intestines and had a head of an eagle. Happy protected the lungs and had a head of a monkey. The floods of the Nile were caused by this god. Amnesty protected the liver and had a head of a human. All the canopic jars were placed by the body in the coffin, granted people the favor of the gods, and were also known to store pet organs. The gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt. Autumn and Re were both sun gods. Autumn merged with Re in the Middle Kingdom times and were called Autumn Re. Autumn Re were the main gods. Mat was the goddess of truth, justice, law, and universal order. Pharaohs went to Hall of Truth to find her. Her feather was weighed against the Egyptians' hearts of the dead and called the Feather of Truth. She was the most judged goddess. Anubis was the god of tombs and dead. He had a head of a jackal, also known as the dog and house after him. He was the son of Horus and Nemes. His dad died when he was young. Osiris is the god of death, the dead, underworld, and rebirth. He was the eldest son of Geb and Nut. He was believed to have married Isis. Isis was the god of love, magic, fertility, and healing. She was the daughter of Geb and believed to marry Osiris. She was the one of the indeed. Horus was the sky god, and he was associated with war and hunting. He was believed to kill his dad Osiris, but his brother Seth. Therefore, Osiris wished to avenge his father's death. Some extra facts about the ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses. The Need. Christian myth, gods and goddesses. The gods of the deed were Geb, Osiris, Seth, and Shu. The goddesses of the deed were Osiris, Nemes, Nut, and Tefnut. The ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses tree consists of these following. Nun created Ra and Amun. Ra created Mat, Hathor, and Bastis. Amun created Shu and Tefnut. Shu and Tefnut created Geb and Nut. Geb and Nut created Osiris, Isis, Seth, and Nemes. Osiris and Isis created Osiris. Seth and Nemes created. The Egyptian gods and goddesses were believed to have done many things for the Egyptians. Pharaohs were revered as living gods and treated as such. Most Egyptians believed bountiful life became a sacrifice.